Asher and Alden and Caleb. I just read a couple of books to Asher using his name, so I thought maybe I would read you these books using each of your name. So the first person that we are going to use, we're going to use the Kissing Hand, and we're going to use Caleb's name, the Kissing Hand. Caleb Bradley Ryan stood at the edge of the forest and cried, "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please may I stay home with you?" Mrs. Raccoon took Caleb Bradley Ryan by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. "Sometimes we all have to do things that we don't want to," she said gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books, and swing on new swings. Besides," she added, "I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home." Caleb Bradley Ryan wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret?" "A very old secret," said Miss Raccoon. "I learned it from my mother," she said, "and she learned it from hers. It's called the Kissing Hand." "The Kissing Hand?" asked Caleb Bradley Ryan. "What's that?" "I'll show you." Miss Raccoon took Caleb Bradley Ryan's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Caleb Bradley Ryan right in the middle of his palm. Caleb Bradley Ryan felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up to his arm, into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. "Now," she told Caleb Bradley Ryan, "whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, 'Mommy loves you, Mommy loves you,' and that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty warm thoughts." She took Caleb Bradley Ryan's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. "Now do be careful not to lose it," she teased him. "But don't worry. When you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick." Caleb Bradley Ryan loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him to school, wherever he went. That night, Caleb Bradley Ryan stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. "Give me your hand," he told her. Caleb Bradley Ryan took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the very center of her hand. "Now you have a kissing hand, too," he told her, and with a gentle "goodbye" and "I love you," Caleb Bradley Ryan turned and danced away. Mrs. Raccoon watched Caleb Bradley Ryan scamper across a tree limb and enter a school, and as the hoot of the owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Caleb Bradley Ryan's kiss filled her heart with special words. "Caleb loves you," it sang. "Caleb loves you." And I do love you, Caleb. All right, let's do Asher's book now. We're going to do Asher Samuel. There once was a baby koala so soft and round that all who saw him loved him. His name was Asher Samuel. The emu loved him, the platypus loved him, and even tough little koala claws next door loved him. But it was his mother who loved him most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Asher Samuel, I do love you." Whenever he stretched early in the morning sun or climbed a gum tree or bravely went down the track all by himself, his mother would smile and say, "Asher Samuel, I do love you." The years passed on and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Asher Samuel. Soon his mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Asher Samuel that she loved him, although of course she did. Every night as he curled up under the stars, Asher Samuel thought about the times when his mother had looked at him and said, "Asher Samuel, I do love you," and he longed for her to say it again. One night Asher Samuel had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. He would enter the Olympics, and he would compete in the gum tree climbing contest, and he would win, and his mother would fling her arms around his neck and say again, "Asher Samuel, I do love you." Asher Samuel began training right away. He jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. He hung from a branch with one claw at a time till he ached. He did push-ups till his stomach hurt, and at last of all, he climbed the tallest tree he could find over and over and over again. Sometimes his mother would watch him and ask, "How you going, Blossom?" "Just fine," Asher Samuel would say. At last the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. Koala Claus had also entered the gum tree climbing, and everyone knew how fast she was, but Asher Samuel wasn't scared. He saw his mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, "Asher Samuel, I do love you," and his heart filled with hope. There he is. He's waving to his mama. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters and 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their holiday hats. "I can do better than that," thought Asher Samuel. "I must." As he stepped towards the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. "On your marks," said the Kookaburra. "Get set, go!" Asher Samuel leapt on the tree. Up, up, up he climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster, until there he was right at the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. But he wasn't fast enough. In spite of all of his training and all of his hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Asher Samuel came in second. Asher Samuel went off and hid. He heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried his heart out. When the first stars of the evening appeared in the sky, Asher Samuel crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. His mother was waiting there for him. Before he could say a word, his mother flung her arms around his neck and said, "Asher Samuel, I do love you. I always have, and I always will." And she hugged him for a very long time. I'm going to hug you as soon as I get home. All right, let's do one for Alden. Let's do Alden the First. "Hi, my name is Alden. It used to be just me and my mom, but then my mom married King Roland, and now she's the Queen of Enchantica, and I am a princess. The trouble is, I really don't know anything about being princess. I've never had to do a royal wave. I'm not sure when to curtsy. I don't even know which fork to use at dinner. I'll never be as perfect a princess as my new stepsister Amber." "Just be yourself and you'll be fine, Mom tells me." "I'm not sure that will work. How can I be myself and be a princess at the same time?" Then King Roland, my new dad, tries to help. He gives me a beautiful necklace called the Amulet of Avalor. Dad says it's a welcome to the family gift and that lots of princesses before me have worn it. Then he tells me we're having a royal ball in my honor, and he says we'll dance the first waltz together. That's another thing I don't know how to do, dance. Maybe there will be a dance class at my new school, the Royal Prep Academy. The headmistresses are 3 fairies named Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They promise to teach me everything about being a princess. Hooray! I do have a dance class. Amber lends me a special pair of shoes. I think she's starting to like me. Oh no, Amber tricked me. The shoes are under a magic spell. The whole class laughs at me. I don't know what's worse. I don't know how to waltz, and the ball is tonight. Then I remember Cedric the sorcerer at the castle. James, my stepbrother, says he has all sorts of magic spells. I asked Cedric to help. He writes down some magic words. He says if I recite them at the ball, then I'll be able to waltz like a real princess. "All hail, Princess Alden," says Bailiwick as I enter the ballroom. "Shall we dance?" the king says. I recite Cedric's magic words, Smogibus Populus Cilia. But I don't start to dance. Instead, everyone falls asleep at the ball, even Cedric. Oh no, what have I done? Help, I cry. Suddenly my amulet glows and Cinderella appears. When your amulet brought me here, she tells me. When a princess is in trouble, another will come to help. Can you reverse the spell, Cinderella? No, I can't, but your new sister might be able to help. But Amber's been so mean to me, I say. Cinderella knows what it's like to have mean stepsisters. I wish I had given my stepsisters a second chance, she said, but perhaps that's what Amber needs. Then she disappears. Amber's still in her room. She never made it to the ball. She finally tells me why she's been acting so mean. I was worried that everyone would like you more than me, she says sadly. No one could ever be as perfect a princess as you, Amber. I tell her about Cedric's magic spell. We search in his workshop and find a spell that will wake everyone up, and we hurry to the ballroom. Wait, Amber says, I owe you a dance lesson. Now I know we're true sisters and ever after friends. When we get to the ballroom, I say the magic word and everybody wakes up. Then the king and I begin to waltz. I look over at Amber and smile. I can't believe how happy I am. I think I'm going to fit into this royal family after all. Alden, my dad says, I'm so proud of you. You dance wonderfully. Thank you, Your Majesty. I mean, Dad. You know, Alden, being a princess is all about having a good heart, and you're going to make a great princess. Dad, I've been wondering, why do they call you King Roland II? Because my father was also named Roland, he said. Well, I say, I guess that makes me Alden the First, and I am one princess who can't wait to see what happens tomorrow and all the days happily ever after. The end. I love you guys. Have sweet dreams. Mwah.